What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? How's it going? Decided to go live here for a little bit. Oh, talk about arm wrestling. I got some time on my hands. Figured we could cover some topics. I uh, I got a ton of rules and ideas and things I like to talk about with arm wrestling. A lot of you guys know that, so I figured go live for a little bit. I still have some tricks up my sleeve, some stuff I haven't shared with you guys yet. I mean, yeah, definitely. Um, so today I want to talk about, and this is inspired by my man's Wes Bjornson. Wes gave me a topic. He wanted me to cover this in one of my videos. So here we are. Here we are. Um, see if I can share this on some stuff for you guys. Yeah, there we go. ET, what's going on? Try to get some people in here. ET, share this on everything you can, please. I don't know. It's hard for me to share it while I'm live. Maybe I can do it on my computer. But yeah. So today, I'll talk about. I will go over the three steps to winning an arm wrestling match. My guys, my team should know this stuff by now. This is stuff I've been telling them forever. Pay off the ref, punch your opposition in the face, and then cheat the grip. Ready to go. I mean, kind of, you know. That's more or less it, Ronan. More or less. I mean, there's cheating in all of arm wrestling for sure. So that's just, it is what it is, you know. It's to be expected. Honestly, it's like whoever learns the most cheats. Like, honestly, if you just are looking for cheats, go back and watch some of the videos between Travis and Devon, and those are two of the best arm wrestling cheaters that I've ever seen, and it's amazing. If that's all you look for when you watch their match and see how much they're cheating, and you really like start learning, like, you know, covering knuckles, getting the webbing higher on their hand, getting your shoulder creeping behind your arm, like little things like that, you start noticing that, and then you watch how they argue with the ref, and then watching them execute these cheats, it's like a work of art. Travis is insane, right? It's like, and both of them are it's so crazy. It's all misdirection. So they'll say like, look at his thumb, and as they're looking at the thumb, you'll see them like pushing their elbow forward and rising and stuff like that, or you'll see them like creeping with their shoulder forward as they're talking about something else. And so it's funny because they're always cheating in like a different area while they're talking to the refs about one other thing. So it's you guys check that out if you guys get a chance. Yeah, that's what I recommend. So, all right, we got 4 people in here. We'll start. That's fine. I don't usually get big crowds anyway, so. So I want to talk about the 3 steps to winning an arm wrestling match. Now, these are 3 general steps. I like to keep all tips I give as general as I can. Then when you start getting too specific, then it depends on the person. Depends on the arm length, depends on their style of arm wrestling, their background. It depends on a million things when you start getting really specific on rules and stuff for arm wrestling. So I tried to get general in a lot of the tips I give, but also at the same time, like, a lot of this stuff is through trial and error for me. And I feel, obviously everybody responds differently to different kinds of training and stuff like that. I've just, over these 10 years, been so obsessed with the sport. I've sought out everything I could. I've talked to everybody I could think of. I've, been to as many seminars as I could possibly go to. So I just, this is what I found works for me the best, this stuff, and this is stuff I find true. So now when I come up with these rules, especially these rules I've been like, sharing on my YouTube videos lately, it's like this is just the way my brain works. It makes it easier for me to break things down if I have like a rule system in my head. If I like have steps and stuff like that, that's just how my mind works. I don't know. Some people don't think like that. That's how I think. So I try to just come up with general rules for each thing, and that makes it easier for me to help teach some of the new guys that join my team or people that have questions on the internet. So it's just how it works. Sorry guys if you guys aren't into the whole rules and stuff, steps and all that. Okay, so step 1 on almost any arm wrestling match is establishing your hand. This is after they say go, and this is for a successful match, right? Is establishing your hand, establishing your hand, right? So basically, step one is getting your hand, and these are things you need to focus on to to win a match. Okay, not saying all matches go this way, but to an extent they do, right? So any match starts, you establish your hand the way you want to establish your hand. If I want to top roll, I want my hand looking like this, and I want their hand looking like this, right? Obviously, there's other styles of top rolls, but I'm saying in general, you want to bend their hand back or control their hand. If I want to hook, I want my hand to look like this, you know? If I want to flop wrist press, I'm ready for my hand to look like this, right? So I'm establishing my hand the way I want my hand to look. Now, that needs to be priority number one in each match. And I teach my guys to not stop fighting for step one, because you can't just bypass step one and go to step two. You have to establish the hand. In my opinion, you have to establish the hand before you go do anything else, right? So like, if a lot of times what will happen is you have to, if you want to have, it's hard to explain. So I see a lot of arm wrestling matches as percentages, right? So the odds of me pinning a guy right now off the start without establishing my hand or doing anything else is like 1% of me just going, meh, right? So then I just try to keep increasing that odds, the percentages of me pinning the person, right? So as soon as I establish my hand, then it's almost like the odds go up 30%, 40%, right? That might be the biggest attribute that that you can have as far as going towards pinning somebody, is having your hand look the way you want your hand to look, right? So step one, establish your hand. Step two is get ready to pin, meaning pull back for if you're an outside puller, or if you are a drag style hook puller, or getting ready to pin could mean coming forward with your shoulder. Getting ready to pin could be if you're in a flop press, getting more and more over the table and more shoulder commitment. It could mean a number of things, right? It's generally getting ready to pin by separating your opponent or attacking their weak spots. And then the third step is pin, right? Now, it sounds so simple, right? But everybody gets this wrong. Not everybody. A lot of new people get this wrong, right? You'll see them jump the gun on step one before they're ready to go to step two. Right, so if establishing your hand is step one, you'll see a lot of guys, especially amateurs, this happens all the time, is that they'll say go and say they're trying to hook somebody. They'll say go and their hook will be like that. They'll get a wrist, that much of their wrist bent, and then they'll just start flying trying to pin somebody. Now, they didn't establish step one, right? They increased their odds of winning. Instead of the potential 30% odds increase, they increased it about 5% because they didn't get the full flexion, they didn't supinate or really get the grip that they wanted. They got a mediocre grip and they fired off because they weren't able to get establish their hand completely. So I'm a big believer in and maybe this is because I was an outside puller for the longest time, but I'm a big believer in fully establishing your hand before you do anything. Fully get your hand to look the way you want it to look before, and you don't have to. None of this stuff is black and white, right? But I'm just talking about odds of just increasing the odds of you likely winning this match. Is the more you establish your hand, like when I hook, I want my hand to look like this. I want my hand to be so supinated and controlled and up and tall, and until I get that, I'll fight for it. Because once I get that, I'm now in my power where I've been training and I'm in my zone. So then I can start working on step two, right? But until you've established that, how can you really work on step two or even think about step three when you haven't established enough control? Now, not saying you can't pin people without having all these first two steps done, but I'm saying that it just increases the likelihood of this match going your way, right? So you establish your hand. And if that means if you're trying to hook somebody and you only get this much, then that means maybe flying forward a little bit more while you lat drag, coming forward with your shoulder and your body, while you lat drag until you get a hold of them. If that's what that means, then that's what that means. But whatever it means to get your hand established, that has to be priority number one, in my opinion. And then step two, getting ready to pin. So in arm wrestling, here I was going to make a separate video about this, but fuck it. I mean, this is a short video, so I'll throw it in here too. In arm wrestling, there's 3 ways to make someone weak, right? You can separate their bicep, you can get them outside their shoulder, right? Or you can attack their hand, right? Attack their hand could be trying to top roll them, or pronating their hand, or something in the wrist, right? Those are pretty much the three ways to make someone weak in arm wrestling. So with level matches, you'll notice that, especially in like European arm wrestling, it's really prevalent. It's or in general high level matches, even in WAL, you'll see it. Is that the match will stop, right? Stop center table, boom, two guys stop. Specific angles, right? So as two hook pullers in the world clasp in the middle of the table, test side pressure real quick. You'll see him go sideways with his elbow just a little bit, just to test that the other guy's shoulder and chest to see if there's a weakness there. And then if there's not, then he'll maybe either he'll increase his height or increase the odds of him applying more pressure by climbing up, getting a better grip, getting his shoulder even further behind it, and then he'll try it again. Or he'll switch to the other one. He'll switch to attacking someone's arm, his bicep, extending them. And then if they have enough power there in their bicep or whatever to stop them, then he'll switch to the hand. And then the moment they start focusing on trying to defend their hand, he'll switch back to the bicep. The moment they defend the bicep, he'll switch back to the shoulder. You know, so it's like those three things, you just keep chopping up those three things over and over again, right? This is like once the match stops. So this is the whole getting ready to pin part of any match, right? That's where the real arm wrestling is going on, where you're trying to take everything from the other guy to increase the odds of you pinning and just take all chances he has away from him accessing any power, right? So we're arm wrestling, going to a hook, you drive sideways, you start getting me outside my shoulder, I start defending with my shoulder to get my hand back in, you know, side pressure. I'm like, oh no, he's attacking my shoulder. The moment I start driving in, you attack my bicep. Boom, you start hitting my bicep. Oh no, I'm driving my elbow forward to start defending my bicep. You hit my shoulder again. Ah, crap, I wasn't defending it. Now it's even further outside. Okay, hitting it, and then you attack, you start rotating as hard as you can. Oh shit, so now I start rotating against you. Then you hit the bicep again, and then you hit the shoulder again. Then you hit the bicep again, and then eventually, right? Eventually, I'm open, I'm extended, my arm's outside my shoulder, and then I have no access to power. You have denied me everything. I have no access. So the goal is, if you want to increase the likelihood of you pinning this guy to 99%, right? There's 99% likelihood I'm about to pin this dude now. You have taken everything, right? So the goal is to have them like that, to have them fully extended in the bicep, their chest and their shoulder completely, and their hand completely dominated in whichever way you're trying to control the hand, right? Rotate it over, flop back, whatever it is. And that's all you do. You just alternate those three things. Once the match stops, you alternate those three things, right? You just keep switching it up. The moment they defend one, you hit the other one. The moment they defend that one, you hit the other one, right? You kind of go back and forth in those. You can keep hitting the same one if you want, but what's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So if you're trying to attack the guy, you're dedicated on getting him outside his shoulder. That's fine. That's one of the three things for sure. But if you just try the exact same angles over and over again, it's not working, then you have to try switching it up, right? Try climbing. Try getting your shoulder behind it. Try different keys to that door until you can hopefully unlock that door. Or switch it up to the other two things and try those, right? So step 2 is a really big one. That's where like the bulk of the arm wrestling goes in. And then step 3, by the time tips for a guy with a long arm versus short arm hooker. Oh yeah, I got tips. I thought I covered that last time too. Someone asked the exact same question. My last live video. Go, if you get a chance, go to the end of the last live video I did a few days ago, and I think the guy asked like the exact same question. I went into detail, but I'll cover it again. But yeah, so you just keep switching those things up, guys. What was I gonna say? Oh, so that's step 2. Step 2 is the bulk of the arm wrestling part. That shows real table IQ and intelligence. When the match stops, what do you do then? Do you just keep hitting in the same direction and hoping it works? You know, what factors come to play there? That's not, I mean, endurance obviously is a factor too, muscle fatigue, things like that. But still, that doesn't change the getting ready to pin and pin part, right? That just makes it, you can hold until they get more tired, but you're still attacking the same angles and the same muscles, and it's still getting ready to pin. So establish your hand, get ready to pin. And you can see so many cases of new guys not following these rules. Bit off topic, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What does Devon need to do to beat Michael Todd? Oh man, that is a deep question. Right now, Devon to beat Michael Todd. Devon needs to. the thing I worry about is that Michael's angle, his King's move angle, his bicep lock, is getting tighter and tighter almost throughout the years. As the years go on, it's not as open. Devon's is like out here, Michael's is like right here, right? And so as time goes on, Michael's King's move is getting better, right? And he's working the shit out of his radial deviation, right? His ability to do high wrists and stuff and cupping. So that used to be the thing, right? You would stay high on his hand, and his wrist would pop. And then you would manipulate his wrist until you go to a press, and he would be so extended he would lose those three things I'm talking about. That eventually you could apply enough pressure, and Michael would have to stand up for fear of his arm breaking, right? That was the fear. Is that the still to this day to beat a King's move? Two rules. I'm all about rules, right? So two things: either you flash someone that has a legit King's move, either you flash them or you make them think their arm is going to break, and so they stand up. That's it. These are legit King's move. Now, this does not count for people that have that are muscle bound, because if they're muscle bound, Denis Sablenkov, right? And I'm not saying this is easy at all, but I'm saying that his arm can straighten out. It's just difficult, right? It can straighten out. It's not bone locking. It's just tight tendons and tight muscles. So if you apply enough pressure, it can straighten out. He doesn't have to stand up because he thinks his arm is going to break. If you apply enough pressure, you can straighten that arm out. Arsene Liliev straightened out Denis Sablenkov's arm by just having enough leverage, right? So, but Michael Todd, his arm can't straighten out, right? So you have to make him think. You have to find a way to apply enough pressure some way to make him think his arm's going to break. So now we have the question, right? Devon's not going to flash him. So, how is Devon going to apply enough pressure to make Michael think his arm's going to break? Now, there's a few different ways to do that, but I'm worried that Devon is pretty light, and Michael Todd's angles are getting tighter, and his wrists are getting stronger, and so you're not going to be able to just flop his wrist anymore. Michael is becoming, I don't know. I think his angles are becoming less likely to be beaten. I mean, even Jerry. Like, Jerry has a crazy strong press, right? Maybe one of the strongest presses in the world, we'll say, right? And, like, they have wars of him just holding Jerry's press. I know some people might be thinking Devon's press is stronger than Jerry's. It's not, in my opinion. When they fully get into there, if there was a meter to track who applies more pressure in a press, I would bank that Jerry does. Devon just controlled that match and beat Jerry in the center of the table. So when Devon got onto his press first, not that Devon's press is stronger, Devon had a controlled center table in the beginning of the match better, so he had access to his press first. So don't get it twisted that Devon's press is stronger than Jerry's. Yeah, I mean, that's a crazy angle, and he held Jerry forever. So I don't know, man. Like, I'm really interested. And Devon, last time I talked to him when he was in Las Vegas, he says he has plans for Michael. He says he's been working on stuff, on angles and things like that, and he thinks he has him. He thinks he has something up his sleeve for him, and yeah. So I don't know. But Devon is a smarter arm wrestler than me. He has way more experience than I do. So maybe he's gonna do something crazy I can't imagine. You know. Yeah. So there's my answer to that. Yeah, but right now, I don't know. I'm a big Devon fan and believer. I just yeah, I don't see like an easy path, man. But I'm really interested to see what his game plan is for Michael Todd. Sorry guys, let me scroll down here and see a little bit what you guys are asking. Tips for a guy with a long arm versus short arm hooker. You need to use your options. Long arms give you options. You can go anywhere on the table, while short arm guys can't. Utilize that. Utilize your options, your ability to follow them anywhere. By doing that, that means you need to stay tight, keep your shoulder tight to your hand, and utilize your options. Don't separate yourself and put yourself in a bad way. And take advantage of your height as soon as you can. You can go up to where they can't go, so do that. Right? Those are the biggest tips I have for utilizing that. And you have a large hand just helps with hand control and controlling. Stopping their ability to pronate through your hand. That's a lot. Use that, man. What's best to focus on when training bicep strength or forearms? I'm a believer in If we're talking about in the gym, I'm assuming that question means in the gym. It's the best way to focus on biceps and forearms. Um, I'm a believer in lifting low reps, high weight, 6 reps, um, 6 reps ish. You would fail on the 7th, but don't go to failure. Stop right before that. And I treat my muscles like a bodybuilder essentially, as far as isolating. The way I isolate my muscles is similar to a bodybuilder, but my rep range and my focus is more of like that of like a power lifter or someone focused on strength. Um, so yeah, I'll target my bicep heads separately and everything like that, but I'll do it really really heavy, so that way I can put it all together. Finally here for it live. What's up, D? What's up, Ken? Thanks for tuning in, man. Yeah, so I don't treat also when I'm doing rep ranges on my forearms and stuff like that. I don't change the reps just because it's forearms compared to biceps and stuff. I used to, but after talking to Ingen for a while, Ingen Terzi, he kind of convinced me that I shouldn't. And since I've stopped, and I still train my forearms and stuff, I just do the same amount of reps and heavy weight and everything on my forearms that I was doing on my biceps, and things felt good. Things feel really good. I feel stronger than I've ever been in my life. So yeah, I don't change up the reps or anything like that. So heavy, low reps. And I honestly, guys, on that topic, like I said, I've been to every seminar I can go to, Mazurenko, Trubin, Rustam, Babayev, all of them, Travis Bajan, Devon Larratt, all that. And one thing, and they all train so different, right? One thing I noticed that's like universal, man. You lift heavy weights, you'll get strong. Heavy weights, low reps, and you'll get strong. Like, and however those look and what angles and what muscles and if it's compound movement or if it's not, everybody lifts heavy. All these top strong guys lift heavy. So that's one universal thing I've noticed, that everybody lifts heavy. That might be the only thing I've noticed where everybody has a like max effort heavy lifting. So even Brzenk on the table, he was known for getting amazing table time with top pullers. So that's like lifting heavy. No matter what, you have to have heavy struggles in order for you to move forward. That is universal. It's the only thing I've noticed that's like consistent all around. Remember that. So, sorry about that. It disconnected. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Ask how does Brzenk's hand and arm feel? You're lucky enough to have one match with him. I can only imagine what his hand is like. John's hand is not super big. It's really thick. So he has a really thick palm and stuff like that, and his hands are wide, but the fingers are not like crazy long at all. He has a really strong hand. John's ability to cup and pronate is ridiculous. It's insane. So when people talk about my match with John Brzenk, all right, I'm putting this out there. That's it. I'm saying it. So my first time a match with John Brzenk was like a year and a half ago. And people keep bringing this up. Ryan Bowen brought it up, and no one talks about how it's a year and a half ago. I've gained like 30 pounds of muscle since then. Like I'm way stronger than I was then. That's thing number one. Thing number two, that event. So I've had super matches with John Brzenk, and I've had super matches with Tim Bresnan. A lot of people don't know that. It's on YouTube. Me get my ass whipped by Tim Bresnan. I got offered these super matches. I'm not afraid, right? I've came to the conclusion a long time ago that in arm wrestling, the worst that can happen, now that I know how to stay safe, the worst that can happen is that I get pinned. Oh, crazy, man. I'm not going to die. The worst that happens is I get pinned. So I train hard all the time. So I'm not going to back down from a match. I'll never turn down a match offer I have with somebody. I mean, as long as it's feasible. It's around here. I mean, if someone offers me a match in Alaska and I got to pay to fly out there, maybe not. But I'm talking about, they said John's driving distance and Tim Bresnan was coming out here anyway for something else, and so I got offered matches. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll pull John Brzenk. I mean, why would I say no? That's an opportunity, right? So I couldn't get out time off work. The match, I didn't have like a ton of, I couldn't get any vacation scheduled off. So I got off work at, I work at UPS, I'm a supervisor. So I got off work at, went in at 2 a.m. I got off at like 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. and I jumped in a car and we drove out there. We drove out to Arizona. I didn't get any sleep. Okay, before I say all this stuff, John would have beat me no matter what. I'm not making excuses. John would have beat me no matter what. But people talk about how easily he beat Derek. I went out there with no sleep. I walked into the tournament and I was with Gage, Jordan, and Will Klingman, my two teammates. I had my backpack on. I walked in the restaurant where they're having the matches, and John's already standing at the arm wrestling table. Like I literally get out of the car from California to Arizona. I get out of the car, I walk in. John's sitting at the table, and I'm like, oh shit. And Travis is on the microphone. And he goes, Big Derek's missing the house. Come on, Derek, get your ass up here. Your match is up right now. And no warm up, no sleep, no nothing. I walk in the restaurant. I'm like, oh, I got arm wrestle John right now. So as I'm walking up, you can almost see me in the video. As I'm walking up to the table, I grab my buddy Gage, and we're walking up to the stage, and I'm like, Gage, warm me up. And Gage is yanking on my arm as I'm walking up to the stage to arm wrestle the greatest guy ever. And so like, I gave I was at about 70%. And not, like I said, John felt amazing. I'm sure he would have beat me regardless. But I'm saying that I was at about 70% when I went at John. Dead tired, no warm up, best ever. That's all you get. And then you guys see what happened, right? So, not saying I would have won, but I could have given John a way better match had I been prepared, which is all my fault. It's all my fault in the end, right? I didn't know Travis was going to start it up that early and all that stuff. So, anyway, that's with the John Brzenk thing. I've trained with John since, and I can give John a lot better run. I have some videos and stuff. But the thing is, John's the man. And I have so much respect for him, obviously. And he's a buddy of mine. And I would never talk crap about that guy ever. Right? But I know I can give John a much better run. But yeah, that was a year and a half ago. And people I just arm wrestled Larry Wheels and I beat him. And then everybody goes to like a year and a half old video immediately and goes, wow. And Derek gets smoked by John Brzenk. That was a year and a half ago. Anyway, all right. Everybody's been commenting. Sorry, guys. I just had to get that off my chest. Hey, guys. Sorry. I don't know why it keeps disconnecting like that. It's every time I click on the chat to try to look at what you guys are saying, it disconnects. So I'm going to try to do it on my computer right here and load up the chat. And so that way I can answer your questions from the computer and not from my phone. Sorry. Bear with me for a second, guys. Bear with me. All right, here we go. There we go. So now I can see your guys' questions live. Sorry about that, guys. I just had to get this all set up so I could see your guys' question on my laptop. Someone said, do I think I can beat any of the WL heavyweights yet? Okay, so people, as far as the people that have who do you guys consider WL heavyweights? I mean, the only people we see consistently are you talking about like Jerry, Devon, Michael, Wagner, Matt Mask. I mean, I think I have something for a lot of them, right? And I especially will in the near future. But do I think I can beat Michael Todd? No, I don't think I can generate enough pressure as of right now to pin Michael Todd. Is Devon's pretty smart. I might be able to squeak out an early pin on him, like first round, but probably not. Maybe Matt, if I could mess with his hand. But that's the thing. I would assume that they all have amazing track records, so I wouldn't say. Could you beat Wayne Withers or Passmore? Me and Wayne have pulled. I've beaten him. He's beaten me. He beat me more than I beat him at the tournament. Since then, we have not arm wrestled. This was a couple years ago. I hooked him right-handed, and I beat him in a hook. And then the other time I couldn't hook him, and he top rolled me. So I'm stronger. He's stronger. I don't know. I don't know how that would go. But I would love to try. I have a ton of respect for Wayne. That's my boy. He has a YouTube channel going, guys. If you get a chance, check him out. I know he's posting his workouts. I don't know his channel off the top of my head. Check out Wayne Withers' channel though. Yeah. So super heavyweights on there. I don't know. I think I can give them a run. I think I'm not too far off of being able to give them a run for sure. I don't know if I'm there yet. I have some guys on my list who I plan on trying to beat. Honestly, Mike Aiello, I swear, like that guy's top of my list to beat, and it's frustrating because he's beat me the last 2 times we arm wrestled. We met at one tournament, we arm wrestled twice that tournament, and then we met at another tournament, and he beat me again. And I was doing one thing, and I'm gonna do something completely different next time we arm wrestle. And so I'm excited to meet up with him and try something else and see how it pans out. It's weird. As the time goes on, my internet disconnects more and more often. But Aiello, I'm not sure about, guys. Sorry, this is getting boring. I know it is. Okay. ETS, me versus Ryan and Bo, different way. I'm too strong for Ryan. I outweigh him by 160 pounds. But last time we practiced, I was too much for Ryan. So we had pulled a tournament like a week before that, and we went to a practice. But I have too much back pressure and stuff like that. And my angles are kind of like the angles you need to beat Ryan. Ryan keeps facing people that hook him, like over and over again. Alan Guerra, like I thought Alan, because Alan can top roll or hook. I've practiced with Alan before, and Alan just kept trying to hook. If you keep trying to hook Ryan Bowen, you guys, he's gonna keep holding you until you get tired. Puts the strap on, he pulls back as hard as he can and pronates and sits in that open spot and holds you while you dig with every fiber of your being to try to connect your wrist to his, and then you get tired, and then he pins you. Yeah. Okay. So, I think I would beat Ryan. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't play the endurance game with him. He has better endurance than me. I have enough power, though, where I should be able to pin through him. Let's see. Hey, Derek, you currently pursuing anyone for a super match? Uncle John, hey, bud. I didn't see you get in here. Uncle John, anyone for a super match? No, right now, I'm just coming out of an arm wrestling depression. So, COVID-19 screwed up everything, canceled. Come on. Yeah, sorry. It messed up. This COVID-19 thing messed up a lot of my training as far as my goals were concerned. So as far as a super match, I don't have anybody in mind right now. I mean, I'd be open to one, but it's not. Guys, I don't know what's going on with this. Literally, there's nothing connected to my internet but my phone and my laptop. That's it. I don't know why it keeps disconnecting. There's nobody here in this house but me. So I don't know what else to do. I could try to go. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to just use my cell data. Ooh, crap. I don't know if I can do it from here. Okay. All right. I just can say that uh, but actually, I think a little bit stronger than before and leading into the Arnold's. So that's good. So everything here is just forward. For tendons right out the gates, we're going straight to heavyish and staying heavy. Ken, if you're new, man, I'm a big believer in this is a marathon, not a sprint. And I think progressively loading up your body is a smart idea from the beginning. I don't think going crazy heavy and jumping in there full bore is going to do you. It has more potential to have more drawbacks than positives, right? I think getting starting any kind of new lift I do, I start super light. If I do a new lift I haven't ever done or done in years, I start light and I work my way into it until my body feels comfortable utilizing the right muscles and condition those muscles enough to handle a heavier load, right? So I would not say jumping in super heavy right away. Potential for injury is very high. Work your way into it, man. This stuff takes years. We are talking about reformatting your joints and your muscles and your tendons and everything. It takes years, guys. So slow. Slow if you're brand new. That's my advice. But I know a lot of people want to jump all in and go do your first tournament and go win some medals and money. I get it. But I would just say slow. So, yeah. John's good stuff. If Travis S says, I have no training partners, will having my girl pull on me with two arms help? I train a lot with weights and a band apparatus that I set up on a high angle for offense and set it low for defense. I don't know how long you've been arm wrestling, Travis. And like almost kind of the same question I just had, going super heavy, especially with someone that doesn't know what they're doing, using two hands, can really, I don't know, man. I'll have people use two hands on me, but they know what they're doing. I have specific teammates that I trust to use two hands on me to help train me in specific angles and do it with the right amount of pressure and the right and challenge the right muscles. So if you trust your girl to know exactly what she's doing, and hopefully you've been arm wrestling for a while and you know what you're doing, then it can be a productive method. One pull through me. I don't know. If what I would say, man, if you're putting, you almost have like a mini setup like I have. If you are using weights and pulley systems and stuff like that, then get your heavy lifting done with that, and then go to practice and or go get on the table with your girl or whatever, and have her use two hands, but don't have her pull through your arm, right? Have her keep you in an amazing position. So hopefully you have your style of hooking figured out or your style of top rolling or whatever. Have her use two hands. You get in a tournament ready position, and you work through all the angles you would do in a tournament, all the motions you would do, and you have her systematically target each muscle group that you're using as you do it. So like the first part of my movement is I'm going to come forward with my shoulder, and I'm going to cup, and I'm going to try to use a little bit of shoulder to get you outside your angle. So then I would have her resist my cup, challenge my shoulder with those two hands at first. Then once we stop the first movement, then she would switch to, okay, the second part of my movement, I'm going to use bicep and pronation. Okay, then she would start targeting my bicep and pronation and walk me through the motions, right? Keeping me at about 85%. So you want to do it as hard as you can until you start breaking form or your muscles start failing. Failure is two different things, right? You can fail with muscle failure, or you can fail by loop breaking technique, right? So a lot of times I'll have someone on my team watch me. I'll be like, hey, watch my form. If you see me, any part of my form break, like if my wrist fails, let me know, because now he's giving you too much resistance and I'm failing. I don't want to fail, right? I want to go through these motions at a very high level, but without failing, right? And so that's what I have my teammates do for me. And so I work on my moves that way, and it works fantastic, right? So yeah, hopefully your lady knows what she's doing and she can help you out. You guys in luck. You guys are so lucky. Have you considered running your own? Oh, you guys are so lucky. There are arm wrestling clubs here in the UK. There are barely any. It's sad. Serious, dude. You got to start your own. That's what I did. I got to a point, man. I was arm wrestling for 4 years, and there was no practices. The nearest team was in LA, which is like 2.5 hours away, and they practiced at nights on like a Tuesday night. And I worked early in the morning the next morning. So I'd work at 2 a.m. and they would start practice at like 8 p.m. And so by the time practice would be over, it would be 11:30, 12. By the time I get home, it would be 2. So I wouldn't even have a chance to sleep. So I couldn't go to their practices often. So eventually I realized if I want to chase my dream, my goals of arm wrestling, I need to start my own team. I wasn't equipped. I wasn't the smartest dude in the world, but I had a passion for it. So I got an arm wrestling table. I had a buddy's dad owned a business, and they let me start practicing at their business. And then I met one guy, and me and him would practice, and then he invited his buddy, and then us three would practice, and then we did more tournaments. We met another guy, and then us forward practice, and then just slowly it built. But I've released videos on this, man, and this is a whole nother topic about how to build a team. I can totally get into that. Like, it's a really big deal for me. You end up wanting to do. Let's see. Can I beat Wayne Withers, Paul Passmore? I don't. Yes, I think I can beat them. Do I think I'm like hands down the favorite? No, I got a lot of respect for those guys. They're crazy strong. But yeah, I definitely think I have something for them. So those are my boys, though. Those are my boys. What do you think about what we think would be Devon's preferred method for killing Gabi? Strangulation, dude. Sometimes it's scary, man. You guys gotta think. Okay, so Devon was a what's it called? Special forces guy in Canada, in the Canadian military. And I've heard from other people that even within the Canadian military, Devon was a legend within the Canadian military, not just for arm wrestling, but for like shit he did in the military, right? So everything I'm assuming, and from what we've seen, Devon's obviously like a genetic beast, right? Guy has insane strength and endurance. I can't imagine having that guy crash through my window and having a military op and was coming to kill you. That's some scary shit. So I watch a lot of times in his super matches. I'll be watching Devon, and I want to see, like, there was one time, I think one time ever, where Matt masking him at a match, and Matt pinned him, and Matt was like yanking on Devon's arm like crazy, and there's like a glimmer for like a split second in there where Devon gave him this look like I'll kill you. But like, I keep waiting for it to happen. I keep waiting to see Devon lose his cool, and he never does. Obviously, he's a smart dude. He's been trained with, to not lose his cool. But man, talk about a scary guy, right? I mean, who knows what that guy's done with his hands in his life? Who knows? So yeah, I always watch Devon to see if he ever like is gonna lose it. But yeah, so he hates Gabi. But I honestly I haven't heard like too much specifics on that. But yeah. Someone says you beat Aiello for sure. Dude, Mike is strong as shit. So I would never say I beat Aiello for sure, and he's beat me the last 2 times we arm wrestled, so he's definitely the favorite until I prove otherwise. Mike, you tan son of a bitch. In that case, when do you see yourself reaching the top tier of WAL athletes? I'm hoping within, man, and I keep saying this 2-year thing, like I've said it so many times, but I within a year and a half, 2 years, I hope I'm able to generate enough power where I feel like I have something considerable for all of them. When I think about guys like, because the top WAL is comparable, I'm not saying they're better than, but comparable to top PAL, top guys in the world, right? If you're number one guy at WAL and super heavyweights, then you're right up there with number one guy in the world at PAL, right? They're like, it's comparable. So how soon do I think I'll be comparable with the number one guys in the world? If everything goes well, I keep training hard, and I'm on the track I'm on and getting as strong as I'm getting right now, I would hope less than 2 years. I hope. Who knows, though, man? Who knows about injuries and coronaviruses, and who knows what will happen, man? Maybe my job will fire me, and I won't be able to lift weights anymore, and then I'll have to go get 4 full-time jobs, and I don't know. Life happens, man. So, but that's the plan right now, right? Until I get super famous on YouTube, guys. So I got Jamie Sheldon messaging me right now. Motivational messages. You versus Lachlan. Thoughts? Could you beat him? Could I beat Lachlan? I think so. I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to arm wrestle him. Lachlan is super strong. I've been watching that guy. I mean, everybody's been watching him. Crazy strong. I think he's cutting weight too. Stylistically, I think I could. So, I'm just not big on talking shit because these are all my friends and stuff, people I've talked to. But do I think I can beat him? I think so, right? Do I know so? I don't know. So I've never gripped up with him. It's just from videos. So who knows, dude? He could just be like, whap, whap, and throw me over a table. Maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out at some point. At some point, I'll arm wrestle him, and there'll be a video, I'm sure, and either he'll just embarrass me and keep moving forward, or I'll get him, and that's it. I don't know. I want Larry Wheels, though. That's the only person I'm calling out for a super match. Larry Wheels, year number 3, coming up next year at the LA Fit Expo. I wonder if he's gonna want to do it again. So the very first time he ever arm wrestled was with me and Alex Bezakayov. Arm Wrestling TV, Alex, was with me and Alex. That's the very first time Larry ever got on a table. Next year, Larry came, which was recently, he came back to the LA Fit Expo and said, hey, where's the big guy and Alex? Arm wrestled Alex after Alex did the tournament the day before. Beat Alex. And Alex knew before Larry even came over there. Alex grabs me and he goes, hey, dude, I am destroyed. Because Alex pulled the entire tournament the day before. I didn't pull that tournament because I had the Arnolds coming up and I didn't want to risk getting hurt. So I was just there spectating. I was healthy, fresh, everything. I was just watching. And so he arm wrestles Alex. So the tournament was on Saturday and this is on Sunday. So me and Alex are watching. And then Sunday, Larry comes over and he arm wrestles Alex. He calls him out for a super match. Alex was beat from the tournament, gets pinned, and but I'm like, like I said, I was fresh and I was just sitting there. And Larry's like, no, I want the big guy. And I told Larry like 7 times, you don't want to do this, man. Anyway, so you guys saw the video, a lot of you guys did, and I beat Larry or whatever. But I'm wondering, next year, is Larry going to train for arm wrestling for another year? Isn't he training to try to beat Schoolboy? So maybe next year he'll call me out again, and we'll do this for round 3. I'm gonna record it this time. I'm not gonna record. I'm gonna put it on my YouTube channel. We'll see. We'll see if I'll upload it before him. um, let's see. What's up, Phil? Thanks for tuning in. I hope I see you at practice on Sunday, bud. A lot of people are going to practice on Sunday. The place where my team practices is at the Hilton, the hotel, and they opened back up recently, and so they contacted me and said we could bring the team back. So that's going to be awesome. We have a swimming pool over there. They have a restaurant, a bar, couches. It's way too nice for any arm wrestler. Like we shouldn't be getting treated this nice. So it's awesome. So I can't wait to go back one up. Did you see Arm Shark's latest vid? Andre leveled up. No, I have not seen Andre his last vid. I think Andre lived in LA for a while, so I think I've practiced with him before. He was strong, but he lives in Orlando or in Florida now, right? So I don't know. I haven't practiced them in years. What do I weigh? Nicola, I weigh. Oh, I weigh my shaded. Are heavy-weighted pull-ups a good exercise for arm wrestling training? Yes. Pull-ups are fantastic compound movement to help you get used to muscle synergy. So you incorporating your lats, chest, bicep, brachialis, and everything all at once. Pull-ups recreate arm wrestling pressures very well. So it's a fantastic compound movement to help recreate arm wrestling for sure. Big fat guys like myself don't do a lot of pull-ups. I do a lot more lat pull downs. But in general, I don't chase many compound movements in the gym. I wait to get my compound movements on the table. So earlier, you guys heard me explain how to have someone use 2 hands. That's my compound movements. So when I'm in the gym, base of strength to start building more specific arm wrestling specific muscles on later. But yeah, I mean, for right now, for me, for where I'm at with my fat ass and my long arms, it's just pull-ups aren't a real big thing for me as far as just needing a big compound movement. I'm hitting all the muscles I use for pull-ups, isolated one by one, right? So, but I'll do some like lat pull downs and stuff like that to focus on my back and stuff every once in a while. But yeah, pull-ups, there's many professional arm wrestlers and top guys in the world that are huge advocates of pull-ups and say they are like, that is the number one pull-up, number one exercise you can do in for arm wrestling. And if you didn't have any access to any kind of weights or anything like that, let's see. You definitely have the frame to be the very best. Oh, thanks, man. I'm huge. Yeah, I'm gigantic. So, and I got an okay sized hand. It's not huge, but it's like average for my size, right? So hopefully I can make it happen. Thanks for the response. I tried having her pull me once. It was just wondering if worth doing it from your perspective and from what you know. Yeah, man. If that's all you have, then do it for sure. They should have got you for bottom 8. Wes Bjornson asked if I wanted to do the bottom 8. And I said, no. And then I was bullshitting with Devon, and I hit up Devon, and I was like, hey, man, how come I didn't get invited to bottom 8? What the hell? And he said it wouldn't be fair. That's just what Devon said, so. Um, let's see. Phil said he's going to make it to practice this week, 100%. Cool, Phil. Can't wait to see you there. I am much stronger in weighted pull-ups than any other exercise like curls or bench. Does this mean I should arm wrestle in a dragging low hand style top roll? Oh, man. There's more variables. I would need to know a lot more than just if you do pull-ups, should you arm wrestle in a specific way. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Pull-ups don't really test your wrist strength. And just because you don't do heavy bicep curls or bench doesn't mean you can't post really heavy. I mean, yeah, dude, there's so many variables in that question. I couldn't give you a solid answer on what kind of style of arm wrestling you should do based on the fact that you can do a lot of pull-ups. We need to know a lot more. Post a video, man. Send me a video. You guys can access me on Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, what's it called? The Arm Wrestling Discord. Hey, you guys, if you're watching this, you're not on the Discord. Hopefully, you guys get on the Discord. Discord is basically like a chat room. It's an app you download, and it's a giant chat room where people just live chat about. We started one for arm wrestling. There's already been a couple. There's one for like WAL and one for Michael Todd, but we have our own that we started just for general arm wrestling. And yeah, you guys join the Discord if you get a chance. If you guys need the invite link, Phil, can you throw an invite link into the chat room for us, please, for the Discord, and invite all these people. But yeah, guys, join up there and we talk live. We chat live about arm wrestling all the time. Philip, who's in the chat right now, is one of the moderators for the Discord, and so he should have the Discord link right now. Hopefully, he can throw it in there for you guys, and download the app, guys, and then just come chat arm wrestling with us. It's just the Reddit thing is awesome, but it's like you make a post and you have to wait for days to reply. The Discord is just like nonstop right now. Let's see. Does the bench help at all in arm wrestling? What's your opinion? Yes. Does it help? Yes. Is it a major player in arm wrestling? No. I've arm wrestled in a hook, which is like if bench is chest mostly, right? I know it's a lot of other things, but bench people bench to get a stronger chest generally. So the way you use chest and arm wrestling mostly is side pressure, right? It's your ability to bring your elbow across the pad. So side pressure is your shoulder, your rotator cuff, and chest. Well, so that like a hook style of arm wrestling is big from bench. Now, I've arm wrestled against Scott Mendelson and Eric Spoto, and they bench 700 pounds plus raw, and I have arm wrestled them. You're not screwed, but it's really going to affect you because like earlier I was talking about the 3 ways to make someone weak. If you get them outside their shoulder, then they have no access to their chest. If you're too muscle bound, if you have too big of a chest that you can't bring your elbows in, then it's going to change where you can go on the table and what kind of power you have access to. So having a really big chest and having low flexibility within your chest can really hinder you on the table. That's why Larry Wheels is going to have trouble arm wrestling. That's why Eddie Hall, Brian Shaw, all those guys, they can't move. Their chests and everything, they're just too big. I'm a big dude, but I have a small chest. And it's kind of intentional, guys. I've never focused. I mean, for years, I was in the gym training for arm wrestling, and I purposely never focused heavy on chest. I didn't want to. Spoto, I went out to Vegas, and he's so strong, by the way, guys. Eric Spoto, and I said, go. And he hit, and then I contained it, and bro, because he benches like 700 pounds. So it made me laugh. I was talking crap about the bench thing. But bench doesn't have a big carryover, is my point. But it helps some, but doesn't have a big carry. Phil, where's that? Okay, maybe a better version of... the guy... Okay, so Zane, who was asking about pull-ups, he wants to know what's the best style of arm wrestling where you use lats. I mean, all of them. I mean, I don't know what one is more important. Because if you gave out your lat, Like if you just forfeited your lat pressure in any move, any arm wrestling move, you'd be kind of screwed, right? So I don't know which one's most important. Um, yeah, man. I couldn't tell you which one's most important. Which move is most lat dependent. Um, they kind of all are. Lat is like your biggest muscle that you use consistently in arm wrestling. I don't know if I can answer that question about what's the most lat dependent move. I mean, you have moves that contract your lat, right? You have like dragging hooks where they start with their elbow up front and they drag their lat back. Some people arm wrestle like that, or some people start with their lat fully locked and engaged, like I do, because my arm's so long, so I have to start. My lat's being used, but it's like locked in, right? I don't have a lot of elbow travel going backwards because my arm's so long. At least not until I establish height. Once I establish height, then I can start dragging my lat. Um, so yeah, man, I know it's hard to pinpoint that for you. Um, all of them, yeah, all of them. That's why I said, man, I can't tell you your best arm wrestling move based off the fact you do pull-ups because there's just too many other variables. Um, uh, can you one trick top roll or much you learn both to be good? Top roll? Is that what you're asking? If that's what you're asking, um, I mean, that's okay, man. There's a lot of people that are at the top of the sport doing one crushed, and you don't have an answer for somebody else's other move. Um, but yeah, there's a ton of people that have one trick and make it really far. Angles better for developing a good arm. I'm a fan of, like I said, don't train to failure, right? Technical failure or muscle failure. So if you can't keep perfect form in your lifts and you're not targeting the muscles you're meant to target, talk about compound movements where if one muscle starts failing, your other muscles pick up the slack, then yeah, if you're in a phase or a position in your life or you're training where compound movements is what you're all about, then maybe, right? But if you're doing isolated lifts like I do, then yeah, if I break form, then what's the point of me doing the lift, right? I'm there to work out my bicep. If I break form or my muscle starts failing and I start throwing everything around, then that defeats my purpose of doing that lift. Now, I'm not saying cheated curls aren't a thing. I have videos where I've done cheated curls and stuff for the heavy. My answer for that. So I would say start lighter while you have perfect form, right? Um, and yeah, you can use your pulling apparatus offensively for sure. I don't know how much weight I have on mine, because like I said, I don't do a lot of compound movements. I don't do a lot of like like to a pulley system, cupping, sliding, dragging. So that's like forearm, chest, shoulder, lat, bicep. You know what I mean? Like that's like 9 muscles in one movement, and that's great if I want to work on compound movements, but I don't. So I don't do a lot of those. Um, there's a time and a place, right? Um, benching helps pressing moves. Cool Burns. It seems so large. Rubakin dumbbell presses 110 kg dumbbells. Lars is an animal. Have you guys seen the videos? This dude owns a cave. Damn it, I always forget what country Lars is from. He owns like a cave that he trains in. Last time I brought this up, Lars was in the chat and he corrected me. But he owns like a cave somewhere that he built a gym inside his cave, and it's amazing. His videos are like, I don't know, it's just a trip to me knowing there's some dude out there in a cave training his ass off who's a monster, pressing like 100 kg dumbbells, so 220-pound dumbbells. Yeah, so props to Lars. That dude's a monster. Zane says, just looking for an arm wrestling hack to use my pull-up strength, but I guess there isn't one. No, man, it helps in generally to like all the moves. It just if you're trying to get too specific from your arm wrestling or from your pull-up strength, that's a little rough. But it just generally helps with all the arm wrestling moves. So keep doing your pull-ups. Keep doing your weighted pull-ups, dude. That is not a bad thing to do at all. It's a fantastic move. It hits a ton of muscles that you use for arm wrestling, right? Lars from Norway. Thank you, Carlo. I appreciate you. Do you train grip for arm wrestling? And if you do, how so? So arm wrestling, I do. Some people that know me do I know I do grip tournaments here and there. I like dude's the real Batman. Um, I like grip tournaments, man. I've trained grip for a long time, and I just trained my wrist for a long time. So by the time I trained my wrist for a long time for arm wrestling, so by the time I heard about grip, that there's grip tournaments, default, and so I started doing those. Now, as far as grip for arm wrestling, um, grip there's crushing strength, like grippers, right? And then there's like cupping strength, like fingertip strength, which is what I focus on. And then there's thumb, thumb to like pinky finger strength. So within the grip world, yeah, there's like these four fingers grip, and then there's thumb grip. Those are like kind of two separate things you train kind of separate. So you can just do grippers. Now when I do grippers, I don't have any grippers in here. My grippers are in my car. I have grippers every day on me. Alan Fisher does that as well. Now, but I have Walmart brand shitty 50 or 25 kg for the people listening ish, 25 kg ish, 20 kg. Sorry. I have. So what I do with my light, I have the nice expensive grippers that you have at tournaments. I have those as well. But the ones I keep with me all day and in my car is I these cheap Walmart ones, but I put them on the tips of my fingers. Right? I train them on the tips of my fingers like this, rather than crushing them underneath my hand, because the stronger the tips of your fingers in an arm wrestling match, that's where the power comes from. Right? I don't care if I can apply a lot of pressure right here in my fingers from the crushing strength from doing heavy, like closing heavy grippers. I need the pressure to be equal to the tips of my fingers. Now, one time when you watch people arm wrestle, and this is something control someone's hand, watch to see if this part of their finger is bending down like that. See how it bends down? That means they're applying, the tip of their finger isn't strong enough to withstand all the pressure. So that means the guy's trying to top roll them and their fingers start bending backwards, right? Okay, well, a grip work, everything, high reps with like a 50-pound gripper. So yeah, for grip, definitely it has a play in there, but it's not crushing strength, it's cupping strength, right? So yeah, largest from Norway, that's awesome. Okay, so I think that's all the questions that I have. So you guys, oh, we're having a big super match. So there's these two guys on our team named ET, who's in the chat right now, and a guy named Damien, and they started kind of not too far apart, and they're both the Damien. I think Damien's like 160 or 170. ET's like 180, I think. So, but either way, they're like they train together, similar builds, you know. So they're good friends, but also rivals on the arm wrestling team. So they're finally gonna have their super match on the 28th. It's not gonna be this Sunday, Carlo and Phil. They're gonna have their super match the same day that Gage and Mike and Mega Mike have their super matches, right? Zane says, "Do you think anyone will ever surpass Devon's strength in hook training too, with the form he used, going below 90 degrees? I've never seen anyone come close to this, and it's been 10 years." I don't think anybody's training that. I think that, yeah, there's definitely people that could. I think if Levon decided to train that angle right now, I think anymore, even Devon doesn't train that angle anymore. So I don't know. I mean, if someone dedicated the time that was like a super heavyweight, yeah, I think someone could. I mean, shit, I could. Yeah, right. No, maybe one day, not right now. So I don't know. That is a crazy lift, though. You guys all seen that video, right? The hook training 1 and 2. That's wild. But all right, guys. So is it not a good exercise for hook? No, it is. It's heavy on the elbow, which I'm a big fan of. A lot of people aren't, and it's heavy on because he was at such an angle while doing it. It's like he's driving with his chest. His shoulder is a big player in that, and his bicep. And then it's a lot of isometric movements or like so he's holding tight on his bicep and driving up with it all. So it's like it's not a strict like bicep movement. There's a lot of other players in there. So, but no, it's definitely angles that would help you with a hook for sure. I mean, depending on the style of hook you do. Yeah. Still the most impressive arm wrestling I've ever seen. Yeah, it is crazy. I'm trying to think if there's any more arm wrestling lifts I've seen from other people. I mean, Alexei Vovoda doing the human flag thing, you know, where you hold the pole, and he was like 250 pounds. That's pretty impressive. Um, I mean, I guess that's not an arm wrestling lift though, but that's when he was an arm wrestler doing it. Um, there's some crazy videos of Tim Brzenk doing some wild bicep curls. Oh, you can't post the link on here? Oh. Hey, Phil, can you share it on Discord? Can you make a post with the Discord link on... Oh, sorry. Can you make a post with the Discord link on Reddit? And so that's... I'm going to start wrapping this up, I guess. Yeah, I'll try to do these lives more often for you guys if you guys like them. I don't know. Some people are saying it's good information. A guy named Minhale, my guy, he keeps like transcribing this whole thing. So he'll write down everything I said and put it in posts on Reddit, which is really cool from these topics. Or when I make videos, it shows you guys, you know, the videos I'm doing. I'm the only is because my computer, I go Reddit on my phone, and I need a laptop.